I'd like to add my congratulations to both honourable members for securing this vital debate. Climate change is not a new concept. For millennia, the Earth has oscillated through periods of warmth and periods of cold, but for the first time in Earth's history, natural trends are changing. And unlike times gone by, human beings have their finger on the scale. We have tipped the balance. Our impact on the environment is often hidden out of sight and out of mind, but international scientists are clearly telling us that our actions have dire consequences, consequences that we're starting to see and feel. Heat waves, hurricanes, wildfires and flooding are just some of the realities we now face. The positive news is that we know it is happening, and we know a key driver of this change is our relentless production of greenhouse gases. So we have to take action to change it and work towards a net zero carbon economy. I am proud that the UK is leading the way in tackling this issue, and I do think we are leading the way. Since 1990, we have cut emissions by more than 40%, and we have done so faster than any other G7 nation, and all at the same time as our economy has grown by two-thirds. And our emissions will continue to fall as we generate more of our power from clean sources, and we are on track to deliver 35% of energy from renewables by 2020-2021. I'm happy to give way.
Well, ladies, for giving way. Another way in which the United Kingdom can take a first-mover advantage is in relation to carbon capture, utilisation and storage. That's an area which, if we were to make a commitment as a government and as an economy to see implemented, that we could really make a startling difference to what we are achieving in this country in terms of carbon emissions, but also in terms of exporting that technology across the face of the earth.
And it's certainly a much-needed technology, and technology that the world leader, which I hope we will certainly be able to make a massive difference, but also a huge economic difference for businesses here as well. This change is often being driven from the ground up by businesses, as my honourable friend refers, and local councils also supported by government initiatives. And I've seen this in Chichester. Cover's timber merchant in my constituency has transformed their business to incorporate sustainable business practices. They've installed solar panels across their sites, which has allowed them to save 810 tonnes of carbon dioxide from being emitted in 2017 alone. And on my last visit there, I saw their newest introduction of electric forklift trucks that were operating in the yard, silently loading lorries. And this business and many others are doing what they can to minimise their environmental impacts. And West Sussex County Council have also been developing their own renewable assets, with solar panels now on over 30 schools, as well as council buildings and fire stations. And today the council are producing an average 23,350 megawatt-hours per year in renewable energy, which significantly exceeds the 14,000 consumed in delivering services across their core estate. And it's innovative efforts like these that are slowly but surely changing the way we operate our businesses and services in this country, plus, of course, our individual actions as consumers. It's important to remember, as many people have said, that this is a global issue and therefore we need a global solution. And our role in that is becoming increasingly important, with reports of international underachievement and key players pulling out of international agreements. This only makes our need to remain steadfast and show continued leadership all the more important. We need international collaboration, and we need to support developing economies to grow in a more sustainable way than we did. And the Government has committed £5.8 billion of international climate finance from 2016 to 2020 to help developing countries mitigate and adapt to climate change. And for ourselves, we need to look at best practice adopted in other countries and support the development of new technologies like carbon capture, as my honourable friend for Stirling referred to, and as an island nation also continue to develop and support the growth in marine energy. And I welcome the Government's ambition to become a world leader in clean technology and services, and I look forward to the Government further developing these opportunities with our world-class universities. And I believe sustainable growth can ultimately be more profitable in every respect. And we owe it to the next generation to make every effort to mitigate climate change. Several members have referred to 15,000 school children who came here to tell us that they care. And we are all here today to say we care too. And their voices are being heard and will be heard by every single one of us. And I promise that, as MPs, you cannot fail to and also their knowledge of their impact on the environment and their passion to take action and to combat climate change and create a more sustainable world for their future. And I promise to them, as I'm sure we all will, that we will continue to support every effort to focus on improving our environmental plan and also support our 25-year strategy, our clean growth strategy and the forthcoming environmental bill, which does shift focus to the environment and I think should be welcomed. And on a personal level, we're all going to give up something for Lent. I'm sure the honourable member for Chelmsford has been on to every single one of us. Mine was plastic last year, and I think this year I'm picking up litter and may even try the lentils as well. And Tolstoy famously said, "Everybody thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself." We need to change both.
I'm afraid I have to reduce the time limit to 4 minutes. Jeff Smith.